Yema mimo, beba nukutuku, bekebe chemo ebea. Meko dunia semialo, etike ni mbese. Pon moche, ni akoko no ne baba ndenga ngome. Kaso pero mo mangombe du akoko. Adu angremo, afa obese, awasemi mangombe du akoko. Adu angremo, afa obese, awasemialo, adu asemialo, afa kutuku. Yano, adu bonulo. Koko jibre, ndri oble, ape koko ni angula, afoni anju, ni omangumo, beti be koko, enyama biye kunsu, owa roba efo, bisa wonu ane bobo. Yeni mo, beba no mage, bekebe kuni obea. Ye mami mo, beba no kutuku, bekebe chemo ebea. Ko dunia semialo, etike ni mbese. Mo semie, me kubie bokame. Aya mame, owo kuni oya, enfa pon yondie, deke pon moche, ni akoko no ne baba ndenga ngome. Kaso pero mo kura ni be no mage. Pero mo kura ni be no mage be aso no nyoma le murumuru. Ni akomi amokura be no mage, amoto amonye, babu enya kura, ebre nje kura ba wonti. Ni akonu die, kamunu koju. Ni akomi amo ba fakenia be okebedia ho kazu na ho kazu ni amage ngomio mi mami o mangombe du akoko adu angremo afa obese awasemiano adu asemiano afa kutuku yano adu bonulo koko timbre ndri oble ape koko ni angua afoni anju ni o mangomo.
Right, I wish I'm a mama kwaba Hambra Odia Sampa TV. Mr. Ojanemia na waba mwadi abo love no so na ama mini baby dinkomo. Eye helicopter crash eba ye de. In fact, controversies ahudo bebree na ede abagana na on say o minor ye team no bibia na ye de ya politics na so no bo say na the right solution na kasa no ewo ho ma o say ye dani ye ni ehwe say NDC for ewo baby ede omani sum say afidie we yesum ede ama ye mampenyi John Dramani Mahama wose omohwe omo ankasa omukuo no emu say country ben force wa ya omo ba eno ma sha say wo ho no mana ya mampenyi John Dramani Mahama wose omohwe omo ankasa omamanyo ekuo nim ye ba bedi nkomo na yenua baako ama ye critical analysis ne critical understanding ebe kira o say ampanso eye NDC amanyokuo nim ena say ye wo baabi edi yani su a eho ena wo say ye di yani ekokire ena afensu yenua baako enso ababonte a all kan say bia ne o kire ne say eye amum na efree mu no onu momo de ye manokwan a obetumi a resources sa enkofo no ena asase ne so nyame na ankasa nso afede ono ankasa nso akasa prophecies ekosi say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama epa onye omo directions any day nyina so manye nie asase we eye Ghana asase na ankasa no eso nyame eka enya dia ombetumi a prevent no na coup Roger eka eho asamo no se omo anya ne asaso ne nyame no eka ho asama sa coup ne de otwene mutentene abe betene eye pekra na coup no ebe happen sen ena besi akono na ekwan be ena se His Excellency John Dramani Mahama empese obesi a obefa so eno ho nkomo ene ye ba bedi ni temesra wodwan ne mia no abomodin asho se obolab no so na efe so no shema nkofo mra America bushoko because nkomo na ye ba bedi ni nkomo a ahu ihe yi kase pa abusha abrani abrabia ya na America ne se yan timamufo no yan sha ase se ye besua ade na yesua ade a ano na beboa ama se amanyofo eba na omo beka bibi e de kire ye trara na chese ye mfa ne tra saa na ye mfa enko nemom ye be open minded ni on say nkofo we ma denti e na omo to anansesem we e de e kire ye because it happen so many times. Hello, my name is Kalu. You Kalu, welcome. Why? My name is Otitwi Anasa. We are talking about our country, Ghana. Inti, there were so many addresses. Near my be honoma. Omaka hon asam awo my muhanoma. Sometimes I only at Tanasia. You beside I won't say a man is saying a mutumi eba catcher say we a happening and you will be so honma because we are ignorant of it inteno ubo say na yaji atumusa na enso no as to say obi a wadwen mu eda honom so obi e raise concern bi a then na wadwen ba so obi say how come say nipa e be kan we yantumi anti ase ambisa ho question. For example, kanena bible wo ho yina ye fifiri ene om sha ase kan bible ne kire na om kire mu a eno ane se din ni ete wonom ni afa ne sa Ghana ni ete wonom ni afa ne sa nti akire nkofo bi esore ye se dabi e wo se ye sha ase ebisa nsembisa e wo bible mu se wani ebeda ho na ho obisa ho se nti we eba ne sen ena me ankasa kra madwe ntumi ankoso ambisa sa nsembisa we ene binum wo ho amone de omo no maye in bondage nti no no oya ne hwe a enye yi nti ono ankasa huni nyina no the only thing obetumi aka kira wo ne say untumi ambisa nyankopon asem mi wa sa bible ni mu ankasa so ya kiro say bisa na obehu hwehwe o say hwehwe na obehu bisa ne ya de ba ma bom ne ebebio na so be ka kiro say ye mbisa nyankopon asem awa bra wo say nyankopon na nanum asem so no o ka kiro say bisa nti debi ameka say aya mum yensua ade na o man na ye timu no okay, stop beating about the bush and go straight to the point. Speed up. Ade we speed up po nya abotre why na ye be kom ne me kire ne say now ni enti a ama ya limit ye marriage na ye ntumi nsua ade enko akire ni nyina no free ni enti a am ye ntumi nko ye ni mu nyina no free eniema ankasa ye di efidi ye ho ewo society no emu no before the abako ye nkomo no so no the videos bi a me pesa me kirew da bia make rescue team ho asem hwe incident ya esi ye nkofo ya ekokkohye ye ntumi anya rescue team bia antumi anko see no at that moment no antumi say even cry no natural disaster there etumi see at any time. But as you know, a kwan be na ebe fa so asi ho kwan se na ebe ya enkoye west because wo hwe ye mpanyinfo ya anka eni se ekoba se omamum kra no se atorenchem na ba omamum no etumi ehye drivers a ema ne yeye enkofo de hyehyɛ pa ade agu akwan mu a eba ne se atorenchem si wo ba bia fast ni aduru onom ni a rescue hwe Ghana na yete no da bia ye kan yanhwe fire service penyini a omayi no hwe o hwe we ya fire service penyini a yayi no ma me we fire service o hwa mami fire service penyini na Ghana pa nti oman we ye serious pa well na ye training bi so a ye fire service for ye di training omo wa hwe advance road yes fire service training
ya to fi me nkwa
unika ebeyi you learn on the job keep it 5 stations.
Ghana mumpa de comedy country o.
Enwene ya ho. Eja to bo na beta na wanga.
Inti we minim se eja no. Ebe kwa koto bridge bi ase na ye be konkwan akodum no se sen ye besi akwakoye no yanhwe enkofo krom fire service training na omoye wo de hwe we show shaman for training na omoye amount for fire service training omoye na wo hwe ye de ani ye ya nti wo hwe wi ase na nkasa na ye ka ho bi wa he training nkofo eye True. Chase ye chira how I will rescue omo a bia we Ghana fire service who ni ohin abakwa akoto obi kura se bia or de ba bi no be hu kwa be fast rescue no na fe hwe san hwe we so hwe we emma first one no de bia obeka say you hwe we emma aye de omo we form no hwe and okuta fire extinguisher speed no de bedum ja no every member to training ni Jiu we unim ne ka kira wo ne kira wo ne se enkofo we mu no omo wo odo nti omo fu omo akomam omo adwen mu omo kra mu omo nipadua mu nyina ena ede eje adwuma no enye se woti baabi na adwuma eni ho nti no yesi opportunity bi appear of fire service se saade a menkopo bosia bi wo baabi na memfa metua ka na menkonko hyemu no enye anu bi o we die onu ankasa no ewo odo owa akomapa energy no ne spirit no ni bibia ankasa wo adwuma nim nti ahu training na wo ye no ahomkeka ne anigi a wo de ye training no enye easy na we ye de ehwo nti eja na ato ene yesi monko na monko dum na ana mugina hwe mugina pipe ye ho ya hwe pipe ni chimkra na obebie nsuo na amana akọ no omuntumi mbie o ene wo hwe nsuo ekra ye pian wo ho ya aso obi jonso we ya so na omudi kokodum ja no we ya omuye aso obi jonso na yankofa fire service penyini a fire service penyini enie yankofa fire service penyini no no ni o boy Ghana ayana obi bisa se Ghana na ankasa no eye town na se ye country na nipa no bisa odi bisa yanko eye mi video ekra ya yira o aneni ha abayire ma ade video be di nkomo metwen no ha na wa fine ade na well abushia eye bra I say there is a lion behind you. Hey sir, are you? But that's why me ankasa no memo manage omo ho no. Sisi ana eye o hwe NDC amanyokuo ni mu a amo pese omo associate ebi a plane crash no se eye obi na hyehye ye no. Amo pese omo associate se eye NPP4 ena e protoye omo pese omo ku His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na me abreni abebi amasema me kan se oman Ghana no ho se bibi esi a ye nimpemfo omo wo time on betena ase na omakasa de we ye si ye no yanhwe ni ansua bibi enfrim ni anso yemfo mbu ya man ntemeka bia na mede eye Senegal for demonstration omo ye ya eje omo abman paying for no ensemo no aye example yes ye be demonstration Senegal no sorry yes Senegal Kenya yes omo be demonstration ɔmo sɔre yɛ na youth ne hyɛ aseɛ sɛ ɔmo prane na ɔmo organize ɔmo WhatsApp organization ne yɛ ho meeting ne adeɛ nyinaa na ɔmo ɛyɛ arrangement no na the ruling party no ɛde n'ani ato opposition party so sɛ ɔmo na ɔmo yɛ santia hɔ na ne n'ani wɔ ɛyɛ target a wɔkyi bi mu ne ade ɔmo ani bɔ ɔmo ho so no na youth no ate asi street ɛna ɔmo saa demonstration nye bi ne Ghana deɛ yi a yɛyɛ demonstration na yɛtumi hyehyɛ ɛnɛ akrafoɔ bɛyɛ ɔmo deɛ ɛkyina kumasefoɔ ayɛ ɔmo deɛ the next day takradefoɔ ayɛ ɔmo deɛ na ɛnyɛ no bio yɛ organize nti sɛ ɛnɛ Saturday yi a me no kasa yi yɛnya agye boom sɛ yɛn nyinaa ne yɛkɔ a Accra gyinam Kumasi gyinam takrade gyinam Sunyani gyinam saa na ɔmo yɛ ɔmo demonstration and saa demonstration wei ɛgye party no nsɛm ɛma afei deɛ no oni option sɛ ɔba withdraw from saa tax yi a ɔde ɛɛto ɔmo mɔle ne so no ebia na ɛɛkɔ so ɛwɔ Ghana no this plane crash yi ɔmo de ɔmo ani bɛto MPP ɛno ɛna yɛ bra Cyrus ɛyɛ critical analysis ɛne afei ɔno ane personal experience and personal encounter ɛde akyerɛ yɛn no nti wɔ ha no mo a yɛnya abotrɛ ne yɛntie ne yɛmba abaa mu ɛnwa awaa mu yie.
Is it true that good people die early? Or is it that they die before their times? And does this happen to all people, irrespective of their status in life? Ladies and gentlemen, take this one advice from me today. If you don't protect yourself and your interests, someone who may want what you have, or someone who may have nothing to lose in life, may alter the course of your life for good. I am going to speak about events happening in Ghana in relation to national security and why I believe the president of Ghana must come out of the fanfare stage of his presidency and lead with authority. My name is Cyrus. This is Tuntum Network in Accra, Ghana. Do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell if today is your first time here. Let's dive in. Him from my observations from afar, the president of Ghana is comparable to a friendly neighborhood police officer. This friendly neighborhood police officer is the kind of gentleman that is pleasant to hang around with and to call a friend because of the security that he carries along. And because he is a high-ranking police officer, people in the neighborhood knows he's useful, and so they try to keep a good relationship with him at all times. This friendly police officer is even more loved by the people on the lower end in the community for his share interest in their lives, ladies and gentlemen. But in the hearts of the men in the neighborhood, they know he's a threat to their way of life. They know he is a police officer at the end of the day who will do anything to avoid any situation that can tag him with acts of corruption, and therefore might give them out to be prosecuted if they are in the wrong. So even though they know he is a friendly neighborhood police officer who is useful, they will rather have him removed from the neighborhood eventually than to risk an arrest, ladies and gentlemen. The neighborhood in this scenario is the high-ranking members of the NDC party. And the people at the lower end of the neighborhood are the grassroots party people. If I hadn't heard nor seen what I'm sharing with you, I wouldn't have done this episode. Take this from me. The NDC party.
Nti abushia ye bra Cyrus asama woka ni eni ode police ni bi a ote impatem baabi e na eye example. Nti saa police ni no a ote impatem ho no mo no ne mpatem ho no mfo nyina epenasam because of the kind of security a ode ema omo. And almost na neighbor no omote eben police ni no ankasa no enim say yes eba ne say police ni we ni security ni bibia de onfa ndi agro e na say ne ebe ya on lose the interest of ne nkofo no enti no irrespective of say obey no udi mwasama obechew na odewo akogye enam saade ye we nsu ntino emma omo te ben onu police no close door no omo mpanasam because omo nim say ono any omo blockage omo nya kwan enya omo way throughout nti we say means bi ombe faso a ombe yi no every one no ombe yi na every one rather say ombe choose for the security this policeman no e de ebemom no e na obe equate into say sa example another scenario way omaye no it applies to NDC party no mu NDC party na ankasa emu no omo e na prane na police no ejina ho ema his excellency John Dramani Mahama then the close neighbor no the cartels anase leaders anase gurus omo the front line of NDC party no emu no then the neighborhood no omo police no asem no the grassroots NDC for no te say yen na yegu ase ho na e comedy ye kese so yen ye dede kese no eno na ode compare na o kira wo say enkomo we oba bedi no se onti bibisa na ohun bibisa ankasa ankomo we ondi but ehun yan so se obedi na wate enti na odi sa ankomo no tikano nienti enkomo na ye bra no ene ye di.
I wouldn't have done this episode. Take this from me. The NDC party leadership have certain members amongst them whose agenda is completely the opposite of the agenda of the sitting president. Ladies and gentlemen, they know the grassroots love the president, and being on the side of the president is good for their political careers. But that's how far they need him. Their push for his second term in office wasn't about building a nation, but building a group of people within their party. Do you know that there are certain high-ranking people in the NDC whose anger at the president is through the roof for not having their way for what they expected? Let me give you an example. There are high-ranking NDC people who feel the gold board is destroying what they had wanted to do and wish the entire thing is shut down. There are those who feel the president's choice of ministers overlooked them, and hence they will rather see the party fail than to succeed. Ladies and gentlemen, there is nothing the opposition MPP party can do to distort what the president aspires to do without the support and consent of high-ranking people within the NDC party. Nothing. The NPP party is actually not focused on that right now. They have a big fish to fry in January next year, and that's their biggest headache. Everything that will happen from now till next year concerning killings, kidnappings, armed robberies should first be checked with people in the ruling government. Ladies and gentlemen, anything that has to do with assassination and sudden illness of the president must be first checked with the people close by, because the person who will most likely harm you is the person most close to you. This whole thing about prophet
Nti abushia Yebra Cyrus asama walk no. And let me tell you, your program say a group, especially a group campaign time awon. Internally, omankasa no efre send the information at the my meaning say osha honom no nyema bi enko yie, but ontume nkan because kakra onya edie. Last year campaign and amedi behu sa nyema we nyina. Nti Yebra Cyrus kan bibia onim ni oka, but as to say ebia unprovided evidence ni ade no na be bibia wo ho. Nti anka this message Yebra Cyrus the ebe a friendly message way any idea modo NDC party no mu push it to say ebedru His Excellency John Dramani Mahama honum na anamo papa bi a wo say otufa hon way eno ane say yemfra Yebra Cyrus secretly friendly enye say bi afi ne yakofa nipa ne ya tata na na say yakohura no Godfred akwa mo akwaba enye say afi ene yakofra ne ya ba behura no nemom your friend friendly near your investigation after we because and all kind of gold board here on my establish ye mu be there me a gold board me who so because one kasa monthly you can't say sika mo de be gu on me de kire say no munya free gold board now so still now no yeah granting mu loan for market ni ade e be there ni mu be gold board ni atumi age adi say ye nokre eno so na ye bra Cyrus kasa because of anunti no NDC for ebinom ebu afu because I broke omo chances na nka omayo say omo de be huri akosoro wono no I broke it inti say NDC for anasa mo amodo His Excellency John Dramani Mahama because omo nyina wo party me obi ana penasem mo pani ya na se mo wo investigation bi anase bibi ya mo mfamani emfanto NDC gulus na ewo mu no because MPP as it stands now no omo ankasa so no ewo internal issue omo dealing with. And let me tell you this, ebia na winima NDC amanyokuo no ho secretive you can say political party bia say issue bi esori wo mumu omo try say entempa no betumi I resolve within the party na MP abonte na enye he mame ma typical example ye to abawie ya na ye beti video bia na circulate one lady na all threaten Vivian Joe say ono na boa ma party no atumi aba power na school aduane ono no say dey no Vivian Joe mom ba abaji ade ntia Mahama na dey sa appointment no ede amano no abusha o te say ko he kikiri zi atwaso internally no fast no ma diri ba o ya no mo die mu MPP die and you go abontin boot for boot binyamu obi agagagagagagagagagasa but nesano although political party is a political party and politicians are politicians into upon so omo dia no omo kasa de nyina no internally so no na ye twetwe bimugu ye de maw pa no akwakoda pa ne de maw akwakoda ntina Roger Krabe kan say MPP for omanom kun jonkuma na onu mom na nkomo ma na ba beye ye kan say vice president ana me say vice president me boyfriend there da bia me kan amon fa ncheme inti the same thing na NDC so internally no eno so ekoso ewo ho na ye bra Cyrus ba review ni encounter any niama bi oti bi wona asum any ne odi na ani ehu bi de akyerɛw amaya ya timu na ankasa no akodu point bi uhu no kra bi untumi nka because ye bebisa say wo evidence ewo he onso mekan uni evidence bi enu nti na kan no ye na nanom no omo ankasa na konwa no krampo no ya dansini nti ya dia konwa no mamudi nse kantam na ne wo twa ntoro na konwa na ankasa ebe review ba na de ohun bibi kra na wo kan wo ye mo hyehyew because ye be bisa wo evidence wo he ba ko fo akohu odansini no hwan ye je bra Cyrus
to you. This whole thing about prophecies and visions about the president isn't just a spiritual thing, but it's people motivating spiritual people to make spiritual statements. Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you an example. 3 years ago, I had a friend from one of these African countries who lived in Ghana. He was a prophet and usually fasted and prayed in the Achimota forest for weeks. One day he came to me and said, Cyrus, who is this man? Mentioning a name of a Ghanaian politician. I told him who he was, and he asked another question right after that. And who is this other man? And I gave him a response. This is what he said to me next, and I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen. The man whose name he mentioned first frequents the forest to pay a certain so-called prophet to pray against the second man. And I asked him this: what did he want the first man to pray against the second man for? And he answered, his prayer was simply to see the second person die. Ladies and gentlemen, if you ask me to stand in a box in a courtroom and swear to provide details to what I've just told you, I cannot. But I've seen the first man with my own eyes in the Achimota forest twice before. And on TV, I see both the first man and the second man converse and laugh as friends. Listen to me, folks. There are people who feel disgruntled for the way their lives.
Ndi abusha eno na dadi lumba beka chaw say ese ne osiri kwa ye no susu many person na da way ya ne osiri yo inti according to your bra no awanadamfo bi a oye sofo a dabia oko Achimota forest okobo baye na oba ono Cyrus nchen ena obebisa ne say minia eye asumasi mamemfa A ni B na wate ne America na ase eye this asumasi A oye dien ewo Ghana na Cyrus be kire ne say oye politician we na obisa say eye asumasi B ono so eye dien ewo Ghana na o kire ne say ono so eye politician ye kan ne say C anase B A na B na obeyi atumu say sa politician ewe eko Achimota forest wonum eko kotua obi a ofre no ho se oye prophet eka se amampaye entia eye politician bi emano eno no ye bra Cyrus be bisa ne se ene na me request a ode ma sa osofo no ene no ne ohe ne mpaye a ode ma osofo se omo entia eye politician bi ne se omo mpaye emaningu because ono ene ne broken anasa ne standing tree ono ena all broken no chance inti se onya wuse ekima na chese ekwan na yeden abie ede amano te se ne enkofo allergy bebrebe se eye His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ono ena oye yera atamis ala koso no sa pepe bi na these politicians so koko edico request e bompa emas prophet say on work entia we bi no na onwu no na eyade a ekoso and aside that no ono ankasa ehu say sa politician na one emfansa politician A any politician B no politician B ekohu so called prophet say onku politician A emano no ohu omo ewo TV so no mani age no mo sere ebom na yeko na yeba uhu kra obeka se jamomo done de udi nsuo kra gu amuntem engu fom tina me ka sure say ese ene wo ye den esere kwa na ya de nso a ekoso ye ankasa obu ohon mo no te party nim ye koba nanso position na wo no na nibre no hu sesa wu free wono ma ono no hye ho ene ala koso no ayama
the way their lives turned out to be and blames others for it. I'm speaking about Ghanaian politicians. They feel their chances in politics got derailed because of someone or some group within their own party. They play the victim role all the time and seek sympathy of people at every chance they get. Those kinds of people are many, both in the NDC and in the NPP party. What I'm therefore saying to the president of Ghana is this: Mr. President, you have to stop being Father Christmas or Santa Claus if you want to live and fulfill your plans for Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, please send this video to him. In these 3.5 years left, you must remove the friendly glove and put on some combat gloves. You walk among hyenas and snakes masquerading as longtime friends. They aren't your friends. They don't call you friend in some circles. You are their competition. Therefore, Mr. President, you must put in measures to mitigate how often you meet them moving forward. Let me share this with you quickly. A female Ghanaian politician once told me she can get the president to do what she wants and how she wants it anytime she wants. I asked her, How is that possible? She answered, because he is in the palm of my hands. Then after a few weeks, I saw in the news the president made an offer to that female politician, and I immediately called her. Guess her response, ladies and gentlemen. Her response was, I told you, ladies and gentlemen, it is in Ghana. I have seen a picture of a...
Nti abushia wow TB wo wasum ade a ekoso wa manyoku num en eba ne say your president His Excellency John Dramani Mahama say walowa ne ho to the point say enyo no nko Ghana nkasa no your leaders your politicians like omulo to the point say omni obibiara no etumi emengo. Yes, a leader I would do on my anim. You should be friendly with our people, but and also enter say, oh my kwama obiano it come within your circle. To send you who be a there no there fiasi. It to me ko hage a president. Crown for bow be anim way. It to me ko hage a president. And there are so many people they don't deserve to go close around the president. And so no ubehu almost am president and enchain. Ewa bra leaders be a form leaders no niema pa amo yamo mukromai oponi nyina no omo el allow bia emane mfa ne circle sa. And His Excellency John Dramani Mahama anka this is the time obetumi a leave legacy ankasa peace adeka akwaba ebusa mesra momo love no so mamwa momo love no so na mo share emame anka this is the time your president ebetumi a leave a big legacy edi ama on my Ghana because Ghana for edi 2 million kase ni nyina edi ahya wonsam na ene metena na me check niema bi na me hwe during NPP campaign mu ni ade na me hwe niema bi a I was like wow, we all believe in spiritual matters and truly e kira wo say enkofo we mu mo de niema egu fom yie ankasa na senya niema na omudi gu form as in the spiritual side in America and omudi gu form nanka we omonya natural vote from Ghanaians anka this the time and what say His Excellency so extra Ghanaians say with the massive vote no amode amame no me so me yahu adwuma ede amamo because osha during the campaign time akufo ado kasakra na ono anano afum kra no akasa ye campaign de NDC bawomia enso kasa na no from ye oye campaign edema NDC na pokra de bobu ye nka we enye se obi na ye edit ni ade ye nyina ya ni tua bi nti na otum say yes eniema ye adwuma. And His Excellency this is the time anka Ghana for free akonwa so no Ghana for everywhere to the stand say ye nyina ye be giaginam say there be Mahama to aso ni say see a parliament the power no belongs to you over there. And as usual Ghana politics all the sectors you know are buying obeba so no control defense finance why ni nyina wo na wo control inti anka me no wo kasai untumi adubuan wan mo sisi ayesi untumi cars aye storing cars ayesi mu sisi cars we nyina no Canada from family mo se bia moton wia munya budget nskire say sa akronfo we kro no a omoboye mia His Excellency John Dramani Mahama me party ya me wo mu omobaye mahu omofum sika nyafo enu nti na sami jemfi e sha asese oche dollars yi hwe basintali sisi awo kokra oche president na nkasa hwe kasa edi nachi ye ba ye ya ma ye check say hu say da bi krono koso a magigi ni nyina ye gigi ye eno ne ye dey expand mu road ama mu within a twinkling of an eye ye gigi ye eno ne ye dey abie ye kan say ya ye railway kwan e dey ama mu we eno ne ye dey si factory eno ne ye dey ye we ya nanka well legacy but still political party ye leaders e body eno ana omo body inti Mahama no jise won hu say party no ho tochima e wo say o ate but o man no ho tochima dia ende on ate inti me no wo kasei o man ye timu a ye bre ewo nsuo ho ye si asori dan ultra modern 110 ewa bra ye bra ba ko before say ye betoa Cyrus video yi ma me nkyerɛ sa video yi tiwi
Joe Biden created 256,000 jobs in office. Ofri Sua Trump by just 33 months in office were creating 224,000 jobs in just 33 months. Edru Amagana Swa just 1 year, some few months in office. 0 factories, 0 jobs. 10 ultra-modern church houses across the northern part of Ghana, fully equipped with toilet and bath and musical instruments. And we are Seushia Bible because the book is more dangerous than AK-47. How can we develop with this kind of mentality? Community sebi enipa ene mua tuminumu nsuobom. One to me who problem be our apart from building a church for them to go and pray.
Speed up. Me start here no more so to I am pia o ha no man. What ye bra na asem na obeka ye no. Speed up. Me so o ha no mama me hu. What ye na we ebeye den na yen question religion ankasa we no enye about Christianity religion ankasa na be den e na yen question so we follow me ache na wa hwe me videos a yenya ma om wo sirem insu om banom kwa hoden a me share particular woman ono no titwi kakra na ono ankasa e kan ni nti a ukọ northern region a ohu nkola so om ho ayefin no enye se omani e na ye om ya e na enye se efin no e na ye om fe na mmom insuo amudi bedware wo hwe sa video na sa wo dwen nipa ho a oreba ho e di amaomo but yenya a certain president of the northern region obaye almost 1 year woko but want to me anye bibia amaomo na emom ultra modern churches fully furnished na yasan aye ultra modern kitchen e di ahihemu na se minister say den ya wo kan acha say or kan bo president na baso the only thing that's of mama ya ni say obebora kitchen. What a joke. And this is the time so his excellency I was say will make great impact.
Laugh as friends. Listen to me, folks. There are people who feel disgruntled for the way their lives turned out to be and blames others for it. I'm speaking about Ghanaian politicians. They feel their chances in politics got derailed because of someone or some group within their own party. They play the victim role all the time and seek sympathy of people at every chance they get. Those kinds of people are many, both in the NDC and in the NPP party. What I'm therefore saying to the president of Ghana is this: Mr. President, you have to stop being Father Christmas or Santa Claus if you want to live and fulfill your plans for Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, please send this video to him. In these 3.5 years left, you must remove the friendly glove and put on some combat gloves. You walk among hyenas and snakes masquerading as friends. They aren't your friends. They call you friend in some circles. You are their competition. Therefore, Mr. President, you must put in measures to mitigate how often you meet them moving forward. Let me share this with you quickly. A female Ghanaian politician once told me she can get the president to do what she wants and how she wants it anytime she wants. I asked her, how is that possible? She answered, because he is in the palm of my hands. Then after a few weeks, I saw in the news the president made an offer to that female politician, and I immediately called her. Guess her response, ladies and gentlemen.
Imagine such a person, according to Yabba Cyrus, and Obiba doubt it, but that's the deepest truth. Okuta president na when some sokushia. And the obey me our dano, so man position and how an position or pen and pounce ya the man in the sunny way, what fixing into office, ebeye den na oye bibibo ne kra na obetumi aka. There's no way. And only a downfall politicians deal. Because Oman Kasa before some beba power no. Yati mamufo no edo fa some stress bi mu. Already nobody can ask stress here. I'm why you bibi or no so they will beba fast stress bi mu. Into with that stress no, I would dirty things. I'm name mabi no menga ne niama bi ni a whole lot of stuff. E be wiase no. No ma ba be hye nipa ne botom. Because odi agrope ne ho nsam nyina ebeba abotinti only option bia rather than say obeye we will edi eno na ye bra Cyrus eka and ema dangerous into wo hwe nso a CCI His Excellency John Dramani Mahama appointees a wo appointed to akase egum no enya de ketewa yete ha na meka bibia a chawo say ye mampanyin no or burden the political party. Yes, ye raise so much concern. Michael Amia, also good job, bro. Keep it up. Never give up. Martin Meda say, ye ginum, nipa mi ansakra ye be preach achelo. Yes, ye say ye complain about so many things during this election. And I say election kwetwa mu. His Excellency Andre se ba kokra. O de mintumi mubo bebre kra no one. Sa fake doctor ye shase complain ye ena ye betre ne to okatachi afri fa ne ye nuanum bia ye ye friend say nka Abraham Bemoshe e betre ne to ye dedia ye yi na di. His Excellency wa ma address Igbo ken ho sansam sole ye eno so wa address man biem enkola so de wa address chese a whole lot of issue ne ye president ayedi no aka na no atum. Yekobubu Magdan edan kingelen enokra na kon kasa o but eyewitness and journalist interview eyewitness send esibaye na eyewitness kasa na soldier ni atwen aba eyewitness you say eyewitness parada behind camera na journalist nso je ni de parada. His Excellency enim say journalist for there o de wasam call mo so say Kim your party na nim begu ase ehwa na de of tampe busi na nim ne sesa mic kere kukuro and wa address sa issue no e kan ho asam say there be eni say ba ne sa nti yenhwe ne yenye de wo se ye wo say journalist for akobam and ebe affect political party intentama no yem president ebe addressing in tempa owie no ka say ene ma memfa sa opportunity we na memfa addressing kwala no so a ewuye no wow sha we ya de chechero man ya chechero political party nti sa eno ni ade aye politicians na di kuye NPP NDC no difference wo kan obi se kan the current government na also no one kan mo obi who stand up by doing say bia o campaign na ade am MPP ba me neutral and me try so me tumla na ma che osi so mo ina no mo ye pe.
They called her. Guess her response, ladies and gentlemen. Her response was,
I told you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is in Ghana. I have seen a picture of a Ghanaian president sitting in a shrine and in the middle of a ritual ceremony where he's being commanded to do what the guest wants. Let me retake it. I said, people who go visit the president, especially Ghanaians, many do all manner of things before they do so to initiate an interest in the president in what they are going to ask for. I want to believe the president's handlers know this already, ladies and gentlemen. So being a president isn't a child's play. It's a combination of both spiritual and physical dispositions. The president of Ghana needs to be firm in his beliefs, especially if he claims to be a Christian. He needs to purge himself of all iniquities and walk in the light always, or else he wouldn't know when he will be easily misled and waste all the opportunities he's been given. The forces that makes a man do what is wrong against what is right and against even his own self and his will is all over in the country. And if you have eyes, you will know it's time to be vigilant and prayerful. The president of Ghana must succeed at all costs, but he must be aware of his surroundings to make the right decisions at all times. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope I didn't scare you with this, but it is what it is in our country, and we have to deal with it as and when it comes. Let those with an ear hear what I've just said. And thanks for taking time to watch this one episode. God bless us and help us all. Be sure.
Nti abusha Yebra Cyrus ede kakra a ode ebreye no. And truly ade so a ekoso ade ekoso whether you believe it or not, there is spiritual forces around, but there be ameka say no entity, I repeat, no entity I work on my bet me ate without human intervention. Enti saa nyama we a ekoso enyinai ena anka ye president se odani nani ahwe asase na ankasa no edia anka all these forces no obetumi a overcome, but because ordinary achre foreign religion to send a see edun ketia ebe kan no ma yesa video no nya hwe ya meso so be kwakwe. It contains a whole lot of information and code a medically ede emawo ewumu. Na there's one thing naneka ayamedi, and this day I was at Mecca and mesra muso mube pushi this video and as mbe tumi a record this side no more pushing a dream president e honum hwe all the prophecies any idea eba as to say be nokre, as to say ebi enye nokre, the one me ankasa we enye nyame bi na be ka kire mi onemom asasi Ghana abosom ebi na adasa hintasem we edi akire me na ose menka ento abonten so prophet aye friend Roger ne nkomhye a oba share say ohi se Ghana ya tutu schools im ya tutu borders im ya tutu wemu na we na obefa ne baga na okọ when to me an can straight me ka ma kira wo say sa prophecy na wo maaye no me so asase ne so nyame a review a kire me na eye nokre na ebesi na challenge a omudi tia eto ema His Excellency John Dramani Mahama so ne say opa onya asofo no akwankyere enyinara still saa coup no ebesi ewo ne pen so nemom ade ebetumi asave no na se adase coup no ebesi anase ensi enie emane nya ne ho te se ne Yebra Cyrus ekan ye Father Christmas no nemom onyere ni boot mu pampen na onye na dwen se papa mu boni mu obegina ama oman no inti omo a omo bo oman no kro no omo bo oman no kro no patriotic statement no omo a omo bo oman no kro no omo a omo bo oman no kro no on hold omo nyina accountable na onso omumu na sika ahodo a omo wia wo man no onje na omatimamufo no ewu se ampa odo akomapa enidie a omode to aba no edema no oye ho yafo eno ena betumi asave no ene se obebie akwan mu obeye rain ya kan say raise obebie nyuma na mabunu oman no ho do ebesan aba bewura mabunu no mu because oman no ho do no free mabunu no mu ekọ se ohyase se oya ade a ebematimamufo na hu se ampa oya adwuma enye internet so promotion ni bi enye internet so promotion na mutieche kame promote no nemom uya adwuma on grounds papa hwe aban bi te se mitumi twe me camera ekogina kofodi akwan yeso a mitwa kire o se mo hwe His Excellency John Dramani Mahama a start construction ya bie kwan ni mu one time infidie guso eye adwuma monhwe His Excellency John Dramani Mahama a partner with a company bi ya bie we ewa hanom ye adwuma eno and a bit to me as saving His Excellency John Dramani Mahama from Sakuwe a Roger Eka Wasamono. And yes, sir, opa onye wiase akwankyere nyina emu bia no ebetumi asave no na nhwa na ono ankasa kra no anko yie ama no because sa ade we no oyikyire no mu no tumi ne ka kyerɛ me sɛ anka esi ɛwɔ ɛyɛ nanado ɛpɛn so and me body details a ebia nipa no anase soja ni a o stage sa ade no be unsa ampa tumi bi na yi a kyerɛ me nipa no ayo obi a onhyɛ danso onyini ye okokoro bi oya apranti a ne ho ahomte ye na me no ka sɛ enne sisi a obetumi ahu no wa ha in the next 10 minutes obetumi ahu no won kran na na do time eno start ye eno yes me mfa mani nto for man hwɛ niama nti eye na pa okotena US oti US sisi a me no ka sɛ nti sɛ nkofo bi wa ha na omo ye na meeting ni ade de ame de me hu ye eno de yenyi ho hwe nkyerɛ me nanso no ni America short US nti ebi asa ne nkofo ne wa ha na omo organize na onu susua bibi efri anyansafo ni kuro mu dia eno ne de ena oda ho no nti His Excellency John Dramani Mahama sa wo be sacrifice say obeye ne yedia ama oman na hu se ampa afi de mpuntudwuma ekoso a eno nkwa ne ade ebetumi asave nye sa wo ya obeye wiase akwankyere nyina emfa ebesi now manya de anu na si wonom no yenko eye bra Richard Niyamakwe. There is a video circulating. I don't know. Minya video no ha ba ye di hu nkomo. First, obasa will be a food bank. In fact, me ye video upon abaso. Say we na ye hwehwe some obeye na mpanso okan ye no anya sa politicians was started me ahodo a food bank no operate afei yete ya eye Richard Niyamakwe asanso akodo notisika eye kanini sika 5 billion e de ama aban ne se onye den on fight red Armenia. With all due respect, decision we take here there nyansa bi anim. In fact, my respect but this decision nyansa bi anim madaruma muntwa we na monka te se betumi aduru no wono e de amame a adenti na nyansa bi anim. One, bisa on say youth no kra ne den ena ma mu engage omo into those drugs. Na drugs no kra ekwan ba na fa so ewu oman. These politicians here why donation among some fan fighters are the way. Business. Some of the politicians no business pa NSR red try model no one whining now. A business ye distribute to across the country. Yes, sir. A then a mining. Now you to the dent no one going to sad drugs no. Into easy. Some will be a yama youth na madaroma. Enisa efa politicians and some because you can't tell me say we are richer than the government no. Inti say yes 5 billion no and a government ni here no their fighters are ready way ya. And kaije wo and also donate sika no. Because this is a small fighter, me fight it easily. Inti sika enti na mo ntumi fight and some of the youth no so engage you who was ade we mu ni na because say adwuma obeye woni bi na ye bi afo be kan bi kire na ni kurom dumasua yenhye enchin omo yanto enchin omo super glue nyina na omo twe nanso obo no homoden say all transform kuro no na enwuma ho ye two pavement ye twa we ye we farming ni ade no mabunu di omo shemu no and two drugs na sekra na eteso idi ye bra Richard Niyamakwe sasika we akabeyi ya mamo find them out na wadaruma se dwuma bi ana se ubaye no kra se bi a sector bi na wabie oba fra youth bi na wa train omo na wo de bi adwuma ma omo kra na anka bro in fact wo be baso wey omo bedi ye nya mfaso obi amfiri mu aya no kra mum ye nka no kra no aw ye ka no kra ni se ya wo na se nipa ante aya na ya bra wo ye adwuma pa but sometimes no adwuma no mo ya aya mo ntena ase na mo ndwe hu nko akira sa na maye ana mane nkoye se politicians no na bia mo pa ni onyam bi dia firi omo ho sa sika we ya wo de koma nkofo we mo no nyansa bia nim omo be diska na se no kwa meanwhile one kasa obetumi dia make great impact bro te sane me kan ye ya tu ya ni hwe China omo di pampro ye niema ye di bi ye mpaboa ye di bi ye atale ye di bi ye wei da bia Ghana for ye oda niema da bia Ghana for ye oda niema day in and day out see ye oda niema free China e ba nie inti bro Richard niema ko we ye businessman and one say street boys what shall see a feeding for trading upon and two income on two sikam nempeja street boys no money da honum no sesabi bear 10 bear 15 bear 20 from kuku good those industries na what China no ono amunko negotiation ye mo boys training amom betumi a kira ade amunko sua amuko sua ba bomodin na mfidi akro no so ye adwuma wo honum no purchase mfidi ni bi na fabra na yen training kofo baby ampampuro wo there are so many in reality niema bia ebi wo ye mamu anum ohu bi wo China for make good use of it enunti ena mo gold o mo nkwa ho Ghana ye nya sore a ye ne wo gold ni ani age ni eka ye gold na da ho no no esanso kra akoye useless e de amaye China for wo gold kra chen ye but esen say omunim die mu do omunyansa mu do ntino ya reserve gold no adenti a surface nyama wo surface kra no omuntumi enyusu enwieye na yakwa akopre ne ya sha ase na ase nti Ghana the same thing na also yaso yehu say nyama wo asase na ani no ye enyusu nwieye ne yakwa akopre ne ya wo asase na ase ena ye de say yen sase ye tumpamprogu miwa pampro no ano kwa na wo bo kra chin gold na wa asase na ase na wo kopre ne no US amu wo gold amu start bi amu se amu jaye ana amu ye niam ade impunto be bro man no ebo musuo ho ban oil reserve amu wo bi enso amu ntu amu oil amu ntu enso reservoir amu won enya ade ketwa nti ade ne ntumi sua we bi Ghana sikafo madoye bebre na ye nhwehwe anim adoye aya mo menka nokra ne ye Ghana sikafo adoye bebre na ye nhwehwe anim adoye na kwa me bedi ako sika okọ donate de ma yewura otumfo esa sika no mfaso bia emmaso because yes ye di prefer nsuo ye purify galamse na akasakra ye nyaye ye de ko prefer nsuo nokra ni bi wo ho no ma aya na ne ka den but o se ye mie ye nika nsuo ya ye ko purify galamse ade ya ese nsuo no kra ye ntumi nyaye ye be de ye purify ntanka sa sika we betumi ya de establish system bia ebe boa kra ma mo amugu galamse emu senye kata ono na say youth ne betwe omo ho afiri ho omo twe omo ho firi ho a omo akata ono ye behwe we say mizo befa so aye adwuma no na say mo politicians mo be handle ono ma handle omo but always bia no mo politicians no take advantage me ne wo ka say munim say o minor ya team no mo ye bibia ma youth no anasa mo boa ama mpuntudwuma akoso a politicians ni wo ho no mi wo ye dan a ye be collapse no enti monka mo humbom nanka monji tumi se truly modwen o man no ho a monka mo humbom anya selfish te sanya anka Kofi Kranti wo ho no pe power na kwa mbedi akopɛ power wan bi mu kra omo ma ka kra no omo ma ka yina kra mpo de me ka na kwa mbedi Kofi Kranti na CBP party inka ya aka yina no bebre na no ye mu bebre nim say nya den a they are being sponsored by this duopoly Inti ankamu no kamu humbom Richard Niyama kwe mu asikafo nyinaa madam mankamu kamu humbom sanya mo ne politicians no and they play dirty game awo yen citizen no so na sampa so mo pesa mo boa yen kwa ade mo kamu humbom munji tumi from sem na munye nipa ema youth ni ne hina so yen so ne mfa mpagya you say yes am be ya enko ba bia ne enti America sa eye give to life charity organization aye mame Dorcas awo I think UK eda no mi wura mu na mi hu say hey our leaders they are wicked because woman philanthropic work o say wan am be bof ndi aya da bia me ka mo fa nche me why sa adwuma we no ni process papers a okoye ofa ha fasika webra ofa ha fa webra ofa ha fa webra ebu tax ni ade a wo ye ede agbati mamfo na nka ye kan your responsibility a wontumi nye na obi ye no emu stress emu tax any ade nti asikafo a wo man mu madawo masamo se mu ye bibia ma o man na munya manenye everlasting solution nemom enkwaye sa moteti ani ede je fans mu wi na akoda na eno ane ne sa saska we ya bread donate there me no kra no ho ameka oba ya food bank me ya hu video bo na baso me ka asa asofo nkwase ampafo obi kra abeba abesha ase ena ye ne rituals ena ye wan rituals I feeding nkofo de bone be na wom inti se wa ba be ye we so na me hu se nyansa bi animu a madaroma mo ma mkwan na me kama adwen fa nkyere ye nua no na mesra no se ontie no ntie na asopam so next time se we kra no oje na nka be ye omomodin na wonje na solution ya mede ba minim so ye businessman obetumi kra atnase aprane aye even more than me madwen kire amede ba because me ne mahunu na me kan okọ internet China for ura ye internet mu asa ani ade na wo so yi okọ wuro omom honum na bomode anya omo access na hwe niam omo ya ye de pampro ya niam ye de nua hodo ye niam a daily ye isu no hanom ye bra wadaroba bomode atnase na hwe bi contact wo negotiation be na obeye yenkonko suya bi ni yaso yan famra ye mamu anum Ibrahim Traore like my God, this is serious. Ibrahim Traore are setting all this example at the Achreye. What is wrong with us? Was 500 students at the Akogu Russia. Yes, how are you see ammunitions? How are you see technology? How you see building nuclear one why no yomo maka nyina yen yeti hanum wasting money just like that. Yeti hanum wasting money just like that. This guy eti hanum here set to all these examples at the maye into yasika fwe samose modwi ye youth ne ho na mu wo bibipa bi ya maya. It shouldn't go to the government. Because this government is so corrupt to the extent they say sika ya wo no mode kotumu a ewo rom nti abekọ no akwa na nipa miensa bi botom ni acha gum se kukuro youth bia benefit from bibia red youth red we omo dey fighting the same ready ni amo be kan say ye the be medication mo medication still eba nipa no so benom medication adwumanti na ma nipa no nya adaje kwotena fa akọ onum bia watumi de ada but okọ adwuma ba onya time class on kopre red bia chiri akwan ye be ye mampanyin ni nuan Kofi Adoma ani ye bra Kofi Adoma ani hwesika wo spend wo ho ye nua ba yi Suzy ono so ne de hwesika wo sei wo ho ankasa sikai those clinic ebetumi abodi bi wa hanom na wa ye insurance atoso e de ama obi bia woni bia e wo so otumi kọ honom no wa kọ empredodo ahin pa na nti ebetumi atena ase hu se enye da bia na ye beso aye ho akonkofo krom akoye bebi de ama ye ho na ya ye betumi aye bi we krom hanom empredodo ahin na mbetumi atena ase adwen sa ade no ni nyina no Ibrahim Traore aye bi wo mamu hanom e de kira mo nti meken Ultra Modern Hospital oba waye baako and recently we be sports stadium was here be that Ultra Modern Hospital into no o megina ndi kan medwa na numu mani baba mo so no wa ya de na de si wonom te say ne Botswana president ibeka say Ibrahim Traore no woda na osori a ne obehu no anasa ukutabi ohwe na ne wo wankasa wabamfo ne obeye yi no na chese oye enemies of progress they say ne bra Cyrus edi kan yes a video e kan ho aseme yen youth no so no madaruma da bia meka yire internet ni mu a aya jokes na we ya ha no edoso mo sorry na we have to purchase our own na yen purchase your own na your own na kasa kwa no pone promote ya ye de ye be da ni purchase Ghana movie industry won say into mean progress unima de kronti hwe Nigeria for yes ye woni mabu ayeye no ha mu ye bi omutumi ye video na konfo ne sofo na di konfo so nkonim the same thing omutumi so ye video e kire say konfo bone ene konfo papa e wo ho enti konfo bone no ubonza konfo papa no e fight no na waba be di nkonim e wo ho enti omudi promote omo de Ghana de say na siko no da bia konfo di bone enti me as an awakened person no do you expect me say me purchase this movie anai uvra ye internet so a TikTok ko China for the so hwe mami nkyere wade na me fasa program we fa nkyere wade na ya end ye video no CCA me ko TikTok mami ko TikTok CCA me ko TikTok CCA na yenhwe it's the same yenhwe Ghana case Sure me boy won ade edi kan bae
1 5 minus 7 2 minus 2 minus 2 5 3 minus 7 3 minus 4 8 1 minus 9 3 1 5 minus 6 1 minus 4 2 2 1 1 minus 2 4 minus 1 answer. The correct answer is 8.
Abusha, we cry there at least.
Next question, ready?
At least you about consider this out.
Ready?
Abusha, at least we there about consider this. I am fan say mathematics be no more ye na we cry no. Input to obey and edeba. 1 2 minus 1 3 4 minus we. Yede. Then another one is when you. Any. Eniu what dey show okay me boy no no Ghana ye wo ba ye ha no na eniema e koso no enu ani afi mamembo ebia Chinese case membo Chinese case so na hwe me bo Chinese case shade omoye abusha me bo Chinese case shade omoye o me ko bo Ghana ye nkwala ade ya omoye no hu ne omoye na hwe Chinese case ade apie wo hu ne omoye me bo Ghana de be tu science hwe balancing hwe ade a chese ade a brain no won hwe o dramo nkwala hwe ade nkwala ayo we kindagati fo ye de kra yeti yese mi ko bi ebi kra na nkoye omo bo mpa ye ne e ba we kindagati o intino da bia no ensanu dwuma ade a yenye develop bibi yenye bibi eno a we military academy we training na omo ba ba ye o hwe o de wa hwe o Oba bema training omoye jenye die ugwa ye internet no so a niema a ense emfata enkoa ena eguso nti niame kan ina ne se madaroma ye mana e ba no se ye di phone ebe ma omoni ade a ana mo amwo bi no wato bibia ma oba bomodia o settings no niam e bo pop up no bomodia ma o location enkoda bia te se Chinese nkolai eni ade ba bia omode omonsa ye niam bi se ne be ye no na di mpuntu oba ebe ma akwara na nyansa no dwuma akwara na nkasa na adwen emove ko industrial platform so no eho na momye hyepe ye ma na adwen fa nko na ye die ure ye internet mu a cheka he na akwara keto aso mic mu no buttons a jai hey baba ye baba ye baba by China for their mikan ure mu a na obehu akwara o te mini excavator o twia kwan ye fa so ye kwan o te mini tractor so or ye farm amono programming adwen no e de akọ industrial base so ye de den ye concept ni jokes na yen so kra na kwam de ye kese ankasa be am no kasa omumpo na oso omuji omani no omo enjoy but abeni abebi an more investment because omunim say day in and day out ye we ko no ebi musua bi ba na omo so ye bi ko na ebi musua bi ba abusha ana mri ubesi adawo ma mesro ebia ope ebibidro kronje sawo yare say ye asthma diabetes hepatitis B stroke na etete wa efo wani nchire ba bia eyodi asem pass spiritual and herbal center ya ba ne se sunsum ha bi se waye honama fom die nyina wasa wo ye na se niama enkoye ya that's why na odi sunsum ha e ba be da me number am didi djuma no 054 330 4976 054 330 4976 medu be si hanom
Obeya ye mami mo beba nu kutuku be kebe chemo ebeya me ko dunia se mi lo etike ni ebese mu ase mi me ku bie boka me aya mame owo kuni oya enfa pon nyondie de te pon moche ni akoko no ne baba ndenga ngome aso pero mo kura ni ebe no mage mo kwa niya beno mage be asonu onyoma le murumuru niya komi amokora beno mage amoto amonye babu enya kwara ebre nje kwara ba wonti niya konu die kamunu kodu niya komi amo ba fakenia be okebedi aho kazu na ho kazu niya mage ngomio mi mami o mangombe du akoko adu angremo afa obese awasemiano aduasemiano afa kutunku iano adubonulo koko jimble ngire woble ape koko ni angua afoni aju ni omangomo beti be koko enyama biye kunso owon roba efo bisa wonu ane bobo yeni mo baba no magi na tebekuni obeya ye mami mo beba nu kuku bebe chemo ebeya me ko dunia se mi alo etike ni ebese mu se mi me ku bi mo ka mi aya mame owo kuni oya enfa pon nyondie de te pon moche ni akoko no ne baba ndenga ngome kaso pero mo kura ni ebe no mage pero mo kura ni ebe no mage be aso no nyoma le mo ni akomi amokora benu mage amoto amonye babu nyankora ebre nje kora ba wonti ni akonu die kamro koju ni akomi amo ba fakenia be okebedi aho kazu na ho kazu ni amake ngomio mimi o mangombe du akoko adu agremo afa obese awasemiano adu asemiano afa kutuku iano adubonulo koko jibre ngire oble ape koko ni agua afoni aju ni omangomo
right abisha medu besi anom ye bese hye anwumre